Dinner for shoes, please.
If you love lingerie but prioritize comfort and frilly, itchy details or underwire that digs into the skin is always getting you down, you have to check out La Vie en Rose because everything from the bra and panty sets to the baby dolls are so crazy comfortable. You'll still find details like sheer lace, silky fabric, and embellishments, but these pretty sets are also practical, which will boost your self-love even more. Everything on La Vie en Rose is elegantly soft and ridiculously easy to wear, from the lingerie to the pajamas, loungewear, and swimwear. So whether you're looking for Netflix and chill clothes or a little sexy something to get you in the mood, you will not regret it.
Hello, and welcome to an episode of Dinner for Shoes sponsored by La Vie en Rose. I'm really excited because we have an episode today where we have an in-person special guest. This is my getting ready look. I will soon be changing, but because we are working with La Vie en Rose today, I am wearing a getting ready look by them. And this little romper is such. I felt a little naked in it without this really cute, cozy sweater from Cider, which honestly, this is not the outfit of the episode, so I'm not going to do a whole outfit behind the shoes here. But honestly, I did get this sweater from Cider. I was really excited to wear it this winter, and I never did. And now it's like becoming spring. I really wanted to get this sweater in. I wanted to do a look with it, and I decided this is really cute. I'm wearing my little bear paw boots, which we talked about in a previous episode. This, honestly, like without the sweater, is what I would be wearing if I was just like romping around the house in my loungewear. Now, I do want to talk about just how comfortable this bodysuit actually is. Also, as you can see, I have all the getting ready fixings in. I'm going to explain why after I talk about this romper, because basically today, we are talking with Dihan FC, who is a licensed esthetician and a freelance makeup artist that I met during Fashion Week. We are talking about the juxtaposition of fashion and beauty, how fashion and beauty can complement each other. I feel like people don't talk about this enough. People are either into beauty or into fashion, and there's no in between, there's no mixing. It's you stay in your lane, I'll stay in mine. Well, today we're going to talk about how a makeup artist might want to complement a fashion look. I'm going to get all dressed up in another La Vie en Rose look, and Dihan's going to look at my outfit, and she's going to take my makeup from day to night, show us how to get into contouring, which is something I know nothing about. I am not a beauty person. I am a fashion person. And Dihan's going to show us how she works her magic, basically, while giving us some skincare tips along the way. So this is going to be a really informative episode. It's also going to be a learning lesson for me. I have to say, I've never done like a day to night makeup look before. Dihan told me to just basically put on makeup as if I was like coming home from the office. So I went into the office today. What would I have done? My hair would have been done, and I would have done very minimal makeup. I am not a heavy makeup person whatsoever. So literally all I have on is like concealer, a little under eye concealer, some foundation. I didn't even put on blush because Dihan's going to tell us all about contouring. I have my mascara on. And that's really it. I do love the way Dihan fills in my eyebrows, so I'm going to let her do that today. And she's going to basically construct a makeup look that complements my outfit. But first, before we get into that outfit and it is presented, let's talk a little bit about La Vie en Rose and this jumpsuit in particular, because I really do love it. This romper is not something that I would necessarily have bought if La Vie en Rose didn't suggest it to me, but it's really cute. It's really comfortable. It actually comes in both gray and this beautiful blue. It comes in sizes extra small to extra, extra large, and it's called the Ribbed Modal and Lace Trim Sleeveless Romper. Now, I'm going to be slipping into something a little bit sexier by La Vie en Rose. They are a lingerie and apparel and accessories brand. They have swimwear as well, which I love, a one-stop shop for all of that, right? Some really great bra and panty sets. I've worn a corset by them before. They are just an awesome brand to check out. Now, they were founded because of the need for comfortable lingerie. People love, and I'm not going to name the big brands, but people love like really sexy lingerie, but is it comfortable to wear? That's always everyone's question. I can promise you, I can attest to the fact that La Vie en Rose is. Just a few facts about La Vie en Rose. It was founded, and I really hope I don't butcher this name, by François Robert, and I am going to France soon, so I just had to practice that, who's the founder and CEO, and this brand was founded in 1985 for comfort. Like I said, they are a Canadian brand. Their head office is in Montreal. Their bras are carried in sizes 32A all the way up to 42E. The Roses of Hope Foundation was created in 2002 by Francois. And this was for the mission to financially support organizations that are committed to the well-being of the community and the protection of the environment. So yes, they are sustainable. This is why they are a brand that we are proud to work with. And you can read all about the Roses of Hope Foundation on their website as well. Just really love a brand that gives back and that knows that they can't just be a brand, but that they have to be a brand that also invests in the future and what is important to them. They need to have values. These are things we love, right? And they are very mindful of their ecological footprint. They are constantly being upfront about their footprint. You can read all about how they are driving their mission towards sustainability. They use reusable packaging. They sell reusable bags in stores. They have raised $1 million to support nature conservation and reduce greenhouse gases. Huge. And they also list some of the Canadian organizations that they've donated to and that they work with on their website. And finally, they produce with as many sustainable fibers as possible when it comes to their lingerie and their apparel, like this little romper. So I'm really proud to be in it today. I also decided to leave in my little hair clips. This was not an accident, even though leaving them in on accident is something that I would do and that you've probably come to know and would be expected of me by now. But Nick loves when I have these little clips in. He's like, oh, your little clippies. So I kept them in because I'm getting ready. They're my getting ready clippies and they are by Dry Bar and I really do love them. They really hold my hair back when I'm doing my makeup. And I am so excited to change into the look that Dihan is going to construct a makeup look around. My outfit today, there is a foundation piece from La Vie en Rose. It is a bodysuit. We will talk about it more when I do the outfit behind the shoes. But first, we're gonna do the makeup. Later, we'll talk about the outfit behind the shoes and I'll go into trying Dihan's go-to meal. And we'll talk about my overall experience interviewing her, but the interview and the makeup portion, that's all gonna happen next. So let me go change and get ready and then you'll meet Dihan and she'll do my makeup.
So here I am with just a light, everyday makeup situation, waiting for Dihan to give me the perfect day to night contouring. Dihan let me know that contouring is the practice of shaping, sharpening, or recessing a feature or features. In Dihan's words, there can be a few standard placements for contour: the hollow of your cheek, the hollow of your eye socket, down the bridge of your nose, along your forehead, and along the jawline. Of course, this is subjective to the face and the look you want to achieve. No hard and fast rules here. Dihan started with clean fingers and placed where she wanted to create shape, but without hard lines. She notes that doing this with fingers helps just to warm it up and melt it into the skin before reinforcing it with more product. Clearly, I did not care to shut up the entire time she was going through this process. Dihan notes that contouring is cool tone versus its cousin bronzer, which is a lot warmer. Here I am checking out how the contouring is coming along. So anyway, contouring and bronzing have an important undertone distinction. In pulling this look together, we added a bit more blush, a touch of highlight to push my cheeks forward, and we pronounced the lip with a diffused blush, and we were done. Overall, I was obsessed with the berry color of my lip. I just thought it looked so good and natural and honestly ready to go out.
All right, so I am here with Dihan and she just did my contouring. So my day to night makeup look.
Can't wait to explain it all. Contouring is not as hard or as scary as I think people think it is. It's way more approachable. There's way more ways to do it. And it's also a lot more casual, as we were figuring out.
So casual.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this literally took 20 minutes. Like I could actually do what you just did.
Yeah.
If, you show me.
Right. Like, I mean, you can get into like the bits and bobs of it. You can get really technical.
Yeah.
Or if you're somebody who's just trying to sort of like hold together the look and like refresh the makeup and get it from like scene to scene.
Yeah.
It's really simple and really easy. And I love using like a cream product to make the process even simpler. But there are other tips and tricks that I will let you know and sort of like when we get to the tutorial part of everything.
Yeah, and I also love that you're also going to talk about it just product-wise, but not like specific product-wise, so that like you can use what you have.
Exactly. I don't want people to feel restrained by one product. I think that's been the biggest marker of people feeling like I can't achieve X makeup, or I feel stuck by makeup and there's just too much makeup information, because it often revolves around product first, then like education second. Like if it's up to me, it's education first, product, brand is subjective. Use whatever you have, and honestly play around with what you have before you like deep dive into like buying something that everybody else has. It's like, this is the product for contouring. There's like not one specific product.
So I have to say, and like I talk about this on the podcast all the time, I'm not a beauty person whatsoever, but when I am on TikTok and I'm scrolling, there are some beauty people that I follow, and like as soon as I see they're doing a makeup tutorial and they're pulling out all their shit, I'm like, I don't have that, and I just swipe away from it, because I'm like, I don't even have a product that in the slightest resembles that. Like, what even is that they're putting on their face? So that's why I like the approachable aspect of like where you come from when you do your tutorials and everything.
It's, I've always led education first because I was there before I pivoted my entire career in life to beauty and skin. I remember thinking like, oh my God, like I'd be like in Sephora or in Walgreens or wherever and thinking like, I can't find it. It's not even here, or it hasn't been invented yet, which lets you know how old I have and have been in this industry for. And now it's also like on the opposite end, speaking to like a platform like TikTok, there's just so much option.
Yep.
And that also now feels overwhelming. So yeah, you get the swipe up. Instead of just off camera, here's my products inside, and just watch me do it. I wish we could get back to that. Or I'd love to get places back to that. Let me say that,
Yeah. Well, let's take a step back. Let's kind of talk about what you do.
Yeah.
Your expertise in skincare. You also are a freelance makeup artist. So just
I am.
Talk let's introduce yourself.
Sure. Yeah. I'm Dihan FC. We met on a job. I've been doing your makeup for a few seasons.
Fashion Week, which we've talked about on the podcast before. I still have your little clippy in.
I know. You're very comfortable with that thing.
I liked it.
We met because I've been doing your makeup for a couple seasons now for Fashion Week.
Yeah.
I've been a freelance makeup artist and a licensed esthetician for now coming up on 13 years.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy. Yeah. Lucky 13.
Yeah.
I currently own and operate and perform facials at Skin by Dihan FC, which is like my latest baby project. And that's on the Upper West Side of New York City. I specialize in treatment-focused, results-oriented custom facials and really emphasizing the custom part. I think I'm one of the only custom facials in the city that is powered by education first, focusing on your current concerns to get you to your future skin goals.
Love that.
Yeah. So, and I take education through everything. I mean, like we gib and gab about all sorts of gossip, but like in there's little educational points. Like we always talk about like, okay, wait, hold on. What are you doing here? And what are you doing here? And I kind of have like a little bit of word vomit, but I love to be thorough so that you can ingest that sort of education and apply it to how you see fit.
Yeah. And even like someone like me who doesn't really know that much, like you come from that approach of knowing like, she doesn't really know what this product is. So let me like kind of break it down, and you do it in a really like digestible way.
Appreciate that. I'm glad that it comes out that way.
For sure. Yeah. Cause like you see, like I literally like years ago, like 5 years ago even, like didn't even know what like one of the eyelash clamp things were. And someone was like putting it on me and I was like, what is that? Like,
so a death contraption maybe.
Yeah.
But you won't know until like it's explained to you.
Yes.
Like, I think things should be a little more approachable in the age of just so much information that we have. And it, ironically, it's not. Right. And then you sort of hit an age where you're like, okay, I know what I like and the way that I want to look like. And maybe that's like a signature for me. How do I get there with less steps when I have less time? But how do I get there and really refine it when I have more time?
Yeah.
I feel like that's where most people are right now. They want to slow everything down just a touch, find what really works for them. And then from there, they can sort of like nitpick it off when they have like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, as opposed to like an hour to like really perfect the look.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. And today we kind of like did this look based on my outfit. So I knew I was going to do like a day to night makeup look, but because I want to talk a little bit about fashion and beauty, when it comes to applying beauty to a fashion look that already exists, where do you start as a makeup artist? Like sometimes, for example, let me just say before like Fashion Week, you were working with Maybelline like the first time and they were saying like, oh, send us your look ahead of time so that the makeup artist knows what to bring and what look we're going for. Like, how do you personally take your makeup and apply it to fashion?
It's really a good question because we have that approach, right? Like where you had this opportunity to also work with Maybelline and then they contracted me to work with you. And so we had this nice little beauty marriage together now.
Yeah.
I love sort of seeing ahead of time where somebody's head might be at. And I take that and I think to myself, okay, this is back pocket for right now. How can I sort of understand where this person wants to go with this look? But really, it's day of, anything can happen.
Yeah.
And so I'll come back with the ideas and like, okay, maybe blue works, maybe a heavier contour, maybe more lash. But in the moment, when I start talking to you, then I kind of understand, okay, wait, hold on. You're going to 3 shows today.
Yeah.
You're going to dinner afterwards, or maybe you need to swipe it off. Maybe it needs to last for 8 hours. Those are the actual fine knit details that I would rather know when I get to you for your appointment. It's great to know ahead of time, like kind of like what you're brainstorming. But even like the last time we worked together, your outfit changed a little bit towards the end.
Yeah, I was like,
so,
I can't, it's freezing out today.
Yeah,
like,
we had that little
I can't wear this skirt.
And I was like, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
And so that's applicable for everything, right? Like your outfit right now, nighttime is going into our next season.
Right.
So even though we're going for night, we're not going for dark.
Yeah.
We're going for sultry, sexy, soft, sort of saturated, but like on trend to sort of like, we did like that powdery on lip.
Yeah.
Where it feels like, okay, I've got my lip on a bit of color, but I don't have to worry about like taking a shot of something.
Right.
You know, like
Right.
eating and it's like everywhere going somewhere. And I kind of like think in that mindset, okay, you told me ahead of time, like, okay, we would be going around the look, but then when we get here, you're in this fabulous white number.
Yeah.
And it's perfect for what I think should be like, okay, when I'm on vacation, what do I want to look like at nighttime? Like glimmering in the light.
Yeah. And you did my look totally like that. And I was like, I even feel like I'm kind of sun-kissed. Meanwhile, I haven't been in the sun in like forever.
Exactly.
But yeah, you can use makeup to do that. So I think that's awesome. Okay. So tell us, since we were talking about TikTok a little bit, are there any misconceptions? We are, because like we were talking about when we even have time to scroll on it and how it's really hard because then you're sucked in. And I know you right now, you're like, I want to right a lot of the wrongs that you feel like beauty, maybe influencers, companies, brands are doing. Like, what do you think is a big misconception that's out there right now? What like irks you when you see it on TikTok or Reels in general?
I think one of the biggest things that kind of bothers me is people, you know, and this harks back to what we were saying in the beginning, people not feeling like they can achieve something.
Yeah.
And I think that that's been a long running issue on social for a long time. So there's not even like one finger to point at one space. I think it's an industry-wide, platform-wide thing. And this is also like applicable to a lot of different verticals.
It's fashion too. I'm telling you.
It's fashion, it's beauty, it's in camera work, it's in tech. I mean, we're not really sort of understanding like you can do this too in your industry.
Yeah.
Everything is so definitive when it doesn't really have to be. Beauty is about creating something that's catching and pleasing and aesthetic, right? We've just put so many parameters around it.
Yeah.
And I think all the time, like, where did that arise from? I don't know if you remember back in the day when, you know, a platform like Instagram, it was like you posted 3 times a day, but it had to be, the timing had to be right.
Oh my God. Yeah. We used to have those schedulers.
Oh,
like
so rigid.
Yeah. It was like 9, 12, 3.
Yeah.
Like,
and then something like that gets applied to almost everything. And it's arbitrary.
Yeah.
Because newsflash, the internet runs 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Across the globe. And so I would love, the thing that irks me the most is the rigidity that the internet has placed upon so many arbitrary things. I would love to see that sort of like break down even further than what it has. I do think that TikTok does a really good job of sort of like taking that facade of it has to be this down.
Yeah.
And giving us like the real thing, which is what makes me so sad if it goes away.
I know. You have
you have this sort of like space on Instagram where, still has to be very perfect and polished and filtered. They haven't broken it yet.
You're right. You're right. I actually think about that a lot too. I was one of the people that like when TikTok was going away, my sister sent me a reel. I actually think I talked about this on the podcast and like it froze because I guess things were weird that day, right?
Yeah.
And it like froze my phone and I deleted the app. And then everyone was able to go back on, but I had deleted the app and I couldn't re-download it. And that is what I missed about TikTok. Like it makes you feel like not everything has to be perfect. Instagram is like, you still want to make sure your boxes look good on your feed. Like for what?
I reposted this one meme in my stories that it was from TikTok and I had downloaded it in the 12 hours that we were all having a meltdown.
Yeah.
And it was like, the girl was saying basically, let me go grab my makeup brushes so I don't look ugly on Instagram. It's just,
That's good. That's funny.
Cackle. Because I was like, it's true. It's true. What am I going to do? I can't be ugly on that platform.
Instagram.
Like, so that sort of rigidity, I would love to see just escape, period. We're losing what art really is in the core of it. And I'm talking about art in any way, whether you paint faces, whether you do skincare, whether you create movies or short films, or you write.
Yeah.
We're losing like the essence of how organic that can be because we're following these weird rules. And behind that, then companies are following them and they're enforcing them, and brands are following them and they're enforcing them. So you're not really getting out of this like weird box.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I actually I won't say like who or whatever, but I saw this like influencer and she had posted, a lot of people right now are doing like the what I eat in a day. And like, she was just talking about how she makes her scrambled eggs and like, she like basically forgot to say something about it. So she like dubbed it over so that she could like get it in. And it was like this little tidbit that was very much like, I care what people think about me. And that was an important part. And I wanted to make sure that it got in there. Yeah. And it was just like, it felt so forced. And it makes me like, not like, I don't think anything about her. I think about the rest, like the world and society and like what it impresses upon us that we think like, oh, we have to be so perfect looking and we care what, everyone thinks. And it definitely feels a little bit less like that on TikTok and in that space. Because
it feels 100% less like that. I love that a lot of people are now, what I will say I do love, if you were going to ask me that, is that people are rebelling against that. We can't have a short attention span anymore. Yeah. At some point we didn't. And then all of a sudden it got truncated to 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's nuts. And so I'm grateful for the people and the platforms and the places that are like, all right, that's it. We're done. Like I can't even do it. Like I have to get out more. I have to explain things better.
Yeah.
Like I just want to show you the girth of what's happening in the piece that I'm creating.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay, let's talk a little bit about you and how you style makeup look and maybe like depending on where you're going and what you're wearing, what comes first? Is it the makeup? Is it the outfit? What puts you in the vibe?
I'm at the point where I think because I'm often in my treatment room, I'm not in makeup.
Yeah.
And even when I'm on a job doing beauty, I'm probably more barefaced than I have ever been. I think that's 2 parts. One, because I'm now splitting my time between my treatment room uptown and between clients, but also being in lockdown.
Yeah.
I mean, where everybody just kind of threw everything away and like that was it. That was for me, I was like, free. I don't have to spend 45 extra minutes in the morning getting ready for set. That does not mean that I don't love to be put together.
Yeah.
I'm also approaching like a big birthday. So I'm thinking more in terms of like, how is my style going to change in this next decade? And I feel something brewing. Like I feel better about fashion and clothing and like I'm being much more definitive about what I buy. And I've been on this kick about like, I need to pay attention to fabric choices.
Yeah. Because it makes you feel different depending on what fabrics you're wearing and also knowing where it's coming from.
Well, that, for so long I was just like buying. And then I stopped buying for a long time and my body has changed so much.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, okay, well, I want to look more like this
Mm-hmm.
going forward. And, I chopped off my hair. And so
I was going to say.
it's different, right? Like now I'm like, okay, I'm finally like putting a few of the pieces back together. I'm feeling more creative. Like I'm thinking on the couch at night, like, oh, I would love to put like that in my wardrobe. And I already have that. Like there's just this rejuvenation.
Yeah.
So long story long, I'm thinking about more so the outfit first.
Yeah.
In terms of like, okay.
From
feet up, sometimes, okay, this is what I want to wear. This is how I want to wear it. And like, this is how I'll do my face for the day. And most of the time, in all honesty, it's just fresh face.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to work and I just want to be comfortable. And the emphasis is on you.
Yeah.
You're the client.
Yeah.
So I don't want to distract from that, but I want to be like a star in my own story for that day.
Yeah. And there's something to still be said for like feeling like yourself, which you are, but you're doing it in a more natural, thoughtful way, it seems like. And like, I hadn't seen you in a year. And that was the first thing I said when you showed up at my door this season. I was like, your hair is amazing. Like, I can tell, like, you look like more creative than you did the first time I met you. Like, and like, you've been doing things with your family and your house and everything too. So it does, like, all those little things kind of like, they show up on us visually. It's
my
like,
reflection is happening. Like, you can tell my life is changing a bit. Like, I think that's where I'm at. I'm exuding that. Like, even before I came here, I was on my phone on the damn reel. And I was like, should I buy this? Like, like I'm stuck in traffic and I'm like just scrolling because I'm just feeling reinvigorated to be like, okay, let me find fashion again. Because for a long time, I just let it go to the wayside.
Well, we all have those stages in our lives. Like, I think with fashion and beauty, like what we actually have the energy for or not the energy for. And it probably comes from like everything around us, what 100%. Our algorithms are showing us. But let's like get back to TikTok for a second, actually, because I realized I wanted to ask you about like all these aesthetics and they apply to fashion and beauty because it's like mob wife, strawberry girl, whatever. Like, I don't even know. There are so many of them. What do you think sparks a movement like that? Are there any that drive you nuts? Are there any that you were really into? Like, what's your take on them in general?
So, I think there's no way to tell what can spark a movement right now. I think, things just sort of happen out of what seemingly comes out of nowhere. I can say for sure without really like pinpointing things, a lot of things are manufactured, right? Like we will just see all of a sudden oranges are trending. And I'm like, wait, I'm eating an orange. Like, and it's like, you're eating an orange likely because there's been a big push from somewhere and it's like flooded our feeds with ads and like products, and it's maybe the cheaper ingredient to manufacture. So you'll see a serum that's like orange peel is good for X, Y, and Z. Like, okay, is it really? But like, I would say it doesn't bother me that trends are happening so rapidly. I think that people are just sort of smashing them all together and like moving on and moving on and moving on. I'll be honest, I have no idea what the strawberry girl trend is. Like, I didn't even catch that.
Strawberry girl summer, I think.
Something
like,
just went onto it. Like the mob wives thing I thought was great and fun. And, we live in Jersey, so it's like,
it's like,
I was like, okay.
They're making like us a thing.
I was like, that's interesting, but okay. But trends should come and go. My hope is that what feels good to you, you try on for a lot longer than I think that they escape from our feed. Yeah. Tinker with it, play with it. Yeah. Like, if you still like what is a mob wife trend, then just go with that. Because I got to tell you, there are a lot of people who that is them. Yeah. That was never their trend. Like, they are the inspiration for that. So they're not going to change. Yeah. There's a woman that I follow, and I believe her name is Abby Silverman. Okay. I think she's over at Cosmopolitan. Okay. She was one of the first people on TikTok that came up in my feed. Yeah. And she is the epitome of what that trend is. But that's just her oozing. Always was. Yeah, always was. Always was. And she actually said something to that. People were like, I guess, tagging her a lot. And she made like a video, I believe, and was like, no, this is like my everyday.
Yeah.
Like my everyday.
I saw someone else on Instagram who was that, and I don't know even how she came up with my feed. It was like on my explore page or something, and then I like was scrolling on her feed, and I was like, yeah, this has always been what she's been doing.
Yeah.
So it's interesting for sure. But my final question for you is what you predict the future, at least 2025, maybe the next 2 years, holds for beauty and skincare, because that's your thing.
Yeah.
And where do you want to see it go? Yeah.
You know, I will say this. I think we're in a slowdown period. And I think that was projected since last fall.
Yeah.
I think with the pickup of like de-influencing that is happening and has been happening on influencing on TikTok, and that's de-influencing everything. I mean, I've seen it for everything from like cleaning to Stanley cups to beauty stuff. I think people are really holding tight to the things that they want to spend their money on.
Yeah.
And so your service has to be something worthwhile and actually improving their lives. I think there's an even more disconcertable customer and consumer, not just informed. I used to say all the time, people are more informed than ever, and they are. But there was a period from lockdown up until maybe like the top of last year where people were just spending. Money was not an option.
Yeah.
We were in that cycle again, which was really nice.
Yeah.
But I think now people are like, okay, I don't mind spending the money, but I want to know that the money that I'm spending is worth it. And I'm actually seeing a result from it. It's no more like I can't go into something and I need to be stagnant for a while before I see something.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it's at. Where I think beauty is going, same thing. There are people who are just not willing to blindly go into a beauty trend, right? And say, okay, have all my money, it's fine.
Yeah.
They're holding still brands really accountable. Even today, you know, you see, if you scroll your feed, you see people, and it's not just where it's like shade extension range, for example, was a big thing that people were holding accountable to.
Oh, yeah.
And it was one demographic of women, mainly Black women, saying, hey, you don't have my shade range.
Yeah.
And we should be saying that, because it was absolutely insane that you couldn't extend the range.
Literally insane.
That a whole ruckus had to be made by an entire demographic of people who, by the way, spend upwards of $1 trillion.
Yeah.
Okay. Like
that stat. Yeah.
Okay. The stats are off the charts for how much Black women spend on beauty and hair and skin on the year.
Yeah.
And only for them to have to make a lot of noise for you to all of a sudden, oh, okay, shade range extended, which makes us think you could have always done it.
Right.
Now I see where it's women with very fair skin. Middle Eastern women are saying the same thing. No longer can anybody come with like a subpar service or a subpar product and say, this is what you need, and you just need it. Yeah. Like there has to come with something. And I'm not exempt from that. When I tell you it's not a tagline. Like, I am treatment focused, results oriented, custom facials. You come in and you are getting that experience. I am not promising a fluff facial. I am promising results. Right. And that has been tried and true to my facials for years. And it can be backed up with all kinds of social media. You know, like people love the facial, and I am constantly improving upon it to make it the best experience, but also the best results that you can get. And for you to understand like your skin better. Yeah.
Which is, I think, the goal of anyone who's getting a facial, because I don't want to just go in and one time feel good after. You know, I want to understand.
There are facials that do that, and I'm happy to point people in that direction. Yeah. I have always said, no fluff over here. Yeah. You're not going to get this European type facial. Yeah. You're going to get an education for your skin, not just skin. Yeah. Like when you come in, we sit down and you lay down and you tell me what your current concern is and where you want to be, and we'll work towards that goal. Yeah. After one facial, you'll probably feel really great. Your skin will look good. But after a year, your skin will sink. Right. And that is a promise that I've held on to, and something that I've delivered on time after time after time. It is really every single time that somebody comes in and lays on my bed, it is a custom experience every single time, even if I'm taking that person every single month, which is often the client's segment.
And I love that for you. And I also love that for hopefully fashion as well, where it's like people are making mindful purchases because you were like, oh, I was scrolling on the Real. And like, you're thinking about sustainability, obviously, and vintage shopping, which I think is like the way fashion is going too. But that also makes it interesting for you, right? Because like you're working with someone and you're actually helping them as opposed to just like doing a service and kicking someone out the door. Right. And I hope that that really is the case for fashion and beauty in general, that like,
that's the hope, right? Like that's the hope that most practitioners or artists start to pick up on. I think for myself, that's always been my underlying philosophy, right? Like I love a big job, love a big bang job. But I am somebody who wants retention. And that has always been my goal. I want to see the same people over and over because I want to see how you improve from the services that I deliver. It's great.
It's gratifying for you, of course.
You know, like it's great to see how much we've grown together and what we've created because believe it or not, this is a symbiotic relationship. We are actually collaborating. You know, and I think most people don't really think in those terms.
No, it's definitely true. They're going to come back if they see improvements, they feel improvements, they have an understanding that they realize you've helped them develop.
Like that's been the philosophy for me at Skin by Dihan FC. That's 100% what you're always going to get. And even with beauty, you know, like we talk all the time. What are you doing? Where are you going? Yes, you sent me your notes, but that was Tuesday. So now it's Friday.
Because
so
life happens.
What's happening in between. So my hope is that the industry sort of listens to the consumer more. If I'm divulging any of my pitches that I've given to countless brands and over the last 2 years, is that you have to start listening to the consumer. Get in the comment section. You'd be surprised how much information you can pull from there. That's all I'll say for now. I'm not going to pay for that. I feel like I've given the same pitch and people are like, but no, it's something else. I'm like, no, let's start listening to the consumer because they're shouting from the rooftops.
For sure. Well, I agree with everything you said. Thank you for being on.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. This was so much fun. Okay, so we did things kind of out of order today. Usually, as you know, I do the outfit behind the shoes first, but since that was kind of a surprise for Dihan and she was able to kind of build Kit, be careful. My outfit, she's like, I don't even want to get into it. They're playing with their little babies, the little balls, and she's near the wire that connects to my loom cube, which is going to fall over now. Okay. So anyway, so because I wanted to surprise Dihan with the look and we kind of did it in that order, and then she built my contouring day to night makeup look around the outfit, I'm going to discuss the outfit and how it relates, because it always relates to the whole conversation. Now we are going to try Dihan's favorite meal, of course. And yeah, Dihan's favorite meal, by the way, is a home cooked meal, which I really love. But okay, girls. You guys didn't even see that because they came from over there. I don't even know if that was like in the frame, but they're on one right now and they're really hungry. So I know they're going to get involved, which is good because they weren't involved in the rest of the podcast. I actually put them in the bedroom so that they didn't fuck with Dihan's makeup. Okay, so let me talk about the outfit and how it relates to the topic of conversation today. We'll try Dihan's home cooked meal. I didn't home cook it, but I did recreate it from one of my favorite Hoboken restaurants because in the name of the podcast and trying from local businesses, that is what we did. So, okay. Larroudé. I love these shoes. I'm obsessed with them. They are so white and so beautiful. And you know that after I wear them out once, they will not be such anymore. I thought that they went perfectly with this look by RŌARI. RŌARI is actually a brand that is by my best friend Ryan and his best friend Laura. They have been doing some incredible work on their lines and their collections. Millie Bobby Brown actually wore these exact jeans, not exact to the colorway, but the exact silhouette, the exact style. They are named the Sarah jean, literally after me. Obviously, we had to talk about that. I want to have Ryan and Laura on the podcast, so think of that as a foreshadow. Definitely one day I will, and I'll probably be wearing the Sarah jean when I do. But I got this little set for France because I'm going to France soon. There will be a whole episode on it, I am sure. But the reason why I wanted to wear it over my La Vie en Rose bodysuit, which I'm going to get to in a moment, I'm going to take this off, is because these are the Sarah jeans and they go with the Sasha Bolero. Sasha is my best friend. Ryan named the set after us because Sasha is my childhood best friend. And actually my tattoo on my foot is for Sasha. So I really like that because I love a coordinated set. Sets remind me of how fashion and beauty go hand in hand, and such is the topic at hand today, right? Now, I also wore these really cool hoops from Strathberry that I recently got my hands on. They're like rectangular hoops. They're gold, of course. Gold is my jewelry color of choice. And then this hand-me-down ring, I think it's a hand-me-down from my dad's brother's first wife, I think. And I liked it because the stone is the exact same color as my La Vie en Rose bodysuit. So let's talk about this Swiss dot lace La Vie en Rose bodysuit, which is literally the most beautiful shade of sage. Wow, that was some jump, honey. That was some jump. Okay, yes, I know. This means you're hungry. So this is this is like a French look to me. I love it. And I just love it with the heels. I'm obviously obsessed with it with the makeup that Dion did. I think it's the perfect day to night look. Unfortunately, I have nowhere to go tonight, but I'm staying in with the cats, which is going to be dandy, just dandy, especially with the mood they're in. So anyway, let's talk about it. Okay, so La Vie en Rose, as you know, sponsored this episode, obsessed. And this bodysuit is super sexy. It's actually sheer and it's got like just Swiss dot with a lace trim down below, but then it's got a lot more lace and a lot more volume and dimension going on in the balconette area. It's really beautiful. It also comes in white. It is called the Floral Lace and Swiss Dot Mesh Cheeky Teddy. Comes in sizes extra small to extra, extra large. It is beautiful. I'm obsessed with it. It is so comfortable. The underwire does not bother me. I also really like the straps because they're wide. I hate a thin little strap that kind of like does that on you know what I mean? So yeah, I thought this was actually the perfect outfit to build over my incredible teddy from La Vie en Rose. And yeah, that's the outfit behind the shoes. So now I'm going to put on my shoes, which by the way, Larroudé, if you don't know, they are just a brand that is literally booming right now. They are sustainability conscious, eco-conscious, I should have said. Sustainability conscious. That's a new buzz term that I'm going to start here on Dinner for Shoes. You look cute up there. No, they are actually very in tune to the materials that they're using. They also make sure that their workers have fair wages. You can read all about what they're doing on their website. So I am proud to own shoes by them. I have to say that when I put on these shoes, they kind of fit like a glove. Like my foot just slides right in. It's like the feeling of like putting a puzzle piece like together when like you've been looking for that piece and then you find it and it fits and it's like, oh, like that is what it's like. So yeah, I'm going to go scurry over and get Dion's favorite meal. I'm going to make it look really beautiful and pretty just the way she likes it and put it back on my orange plate. I really hope I didn't use the orange plate yet. I'm pretty sure this is the one color that I have not used from my new plate set. So I've gone through them all. I've gone through the full set. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so Dion's favorite meal is a take on sushi. And I was able to get it from one of my favorite. I have two favorite sushi spots in Hoboken. One is Okinawa and the other is Avocado. And I think we've talked about them both before. And I think we've had them both on the podcast before. But what Dion likes to do when she's making herself a home-cooked meal is a nice seared tuna steak over jasmine rice, super fluffy, and bonus points if you can even get some seaweed too. So what I did, look at Kit's face, oh my God. Kit, you just needed to be part of this, didn't you? Is I ordered a seared tuna over jasmine rice from Okinawa with seaweed. And I'm making it look really beautiful and presentable with my orange chopsticks, which I'm very proud that I own. Oh, I'm being like really Instagrammy right now. Funny and ironic because Dion and I just talked about that. I'm going to put the sesame sauce on top and we're going to try it. And it's probably going to be nothing on Dion's because I'm sure that she makes a delicious tuna steak over rice, but I'm really fucking excited for this right now. And also just like had to make it super presentable and glamorous for Dion because she came all the way here to be on set at Dinner for Shoes, which I just love so much. I feel like this is going to be messy if I don't put it over here, especially since I'm wearing the white RŌARI Sarah set and I don't want to get anything on it. Okay, let's try this. I also lied. I did try a piece of tuna too. It's so good. Oh my God. So good. And so it's seared with sesame seeds on the side. Wow. That is delicious. I love Okinawa. If you're looking for a sushi place, I would say avocado is better if you like crazy rolls, but Okinawa is better for the classics. That's what I would say. This meal is literally incredible. I will say that for my podcast, for Dinner for Shoes, we do try local businesses, as you know, but I also do sometimes make my meals homemade. For the podcast, I try to try the local businesses as much as possible, but Nick and I do make a mean tuna steak and we have been perfecting the searing, but I don't know if it's just that it's not tuna season right now, but the tunas that we've been getting from Acme, which is where we get our groceries from, have not been good. So I'm excited to restart that whenever it's in season again. But this is just delicious. I love fluffy jasmine rice. I love sushi rice too, but I had to get exactly as Dion wanted. This is just really delicious. And I can't wait to wear my day to night contouring makeup and literally eat this all night long and just do work, because that's literally what I do. I just work all the time. Also Nick's at a bachelor party. So there we have it. Anyway, I love you. I hope you really enjoyed our conversation about the intersection of beauty and fashion. I feel like I didn't really accurately summarize that. Beauty and fashion is something that I think about a lot. I am a beauty for dummies type person. I don't know a lot about beauty. And I think I talk about that often on my podcast. So it's really nice when I do get my makeup done or I go get a facial or I talk to someone about skincare like Dion and they're able to explain to me the steps and really break it down and just be super upfront about what they're doing, what products I should be doing, what type of skin I have. And then I actually love it when I see a celebrity look or an influencer look or whoever I'm scrolling past on Instagram. And I just love the way the beauty look complements the fashion. And that's kind of what I wanted to do today. And kind of marriage, beauty and fashion in perfect harmony. And I feel like me and Dion sitting on the couch doing that was just really rewarding and awesome. And it shows that when one person has expertise here and the other person has expertise here, together you can make magic. Just like when one of you is a crazy cat and the other one of you is a lazy cat, you can put them together and make chaos. I don't know how, but Kit figures it out and she brings Trish along for the ride and these girls are nuts. Anyway, I love you guys and I hope that you enjoyed this podcast all about the intersection of beauty and fashion, that you learned. I definitely learned how to contour. I don't know about you, but I will be applying that super quick 20-minute process whenever I have gone to work and then have an event later at night. And I will be doing everything that I possibly can be doing in La Vie en Rose as well. I also own a really great oversized t-shirt and boxer set by them, and I am going to put it on right now. This episode has been sponsored by La Vie en Rose. I love you. Good night.